Hello, and welcome to another installment of the Mood Room. I'm joined here again, as usual, with what are we calling ourselves this time around?
Oh, well, I'm Poseidon.
Poseidon?
Yes.
You look watery. I'll go with that.
I guess I'll just be Ariel then to fit the theme.
What the before we get started today, I want to point out that Poseidon is a white male, therefore his opinions on anything do not have any bearing on reality.
Let's start off with this as well. Poseidon's also a Greek mythology god. All right, which gods?
No. Hold on. Poseidon was probably a white male, even if he's a god. So therefore, he has no rights and no bearing on reality. Like I said earlier, he's no longer accepted as a being that matters because he's a white male. There's a movement now that suggests that white males are just bad. So therefore, if you're portraying one, you are also bad.
You should know yourself. That as long as Percy Jackson's in the same room as me.
Percy Jackson, you fucking idiot! Really? He's okay. So hold on. So okay, let's go with that. I don't see Percy Jackson in here. I'm looking around. I see Mussolini. I see Lincoln. I see Einstein. We don't see a Percy Jackson though. So your argument, once again, prove my point. Doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. White male. We're also joined by Eric. Like Ariel's bow, is that?
No. Ariel, like the swimmer in the old Disney cartoon.
Mermaid?
The Little Mermaid?
What the hell?
I couldn't think of what it was called. That's why I said the swimmer.
The swimmer. You would think water and...
So are you swimming in my water?
That's interesting, though. Yeah. How did that happen? You guys talk about this before?
You got a visa?
A visa? Oh, I need that now.
No. You're talking about visas, and it may not matter if you have a visa because Trump's kind of.
Are you Muslim? Are you a Muslim mermaid?
Are you a Muslim mermaid?
I don't know which ocean was.
How did
Ariel
you guys? Wait a minute. Poseidon and what is this water stuff going on?
Well, because
today?
I am the god of the ocean.
I'm just a flounder fish.
You can't just be flying.
I want to point out for the people that can't see this moron that he just put his hand up in the air and made like a gesture.
I have a trifle.
Oh, he said a trifle, ladies and gentlemen. The white men don't know anything. Trident, man. Come on, stay with us. Trident. You had... Anyway. Unfortunately, there's so much going on in the political arena that we are going to probably be doing a number of podcasts based on that. But I gotta stop doing that because it catches it. Anyway, so we're probably gonna end up talking a lot about news and political and Donald Trump because that's just like what is happening currently. We have a special guest dropping in, actor, director, plus size brother.
Wait, hold on.
Forrest Whitaker.
Forrest Whitaker? I thought that was David Bowie.
No. That's actually Flounder. He's also in the ocean.
Flounder. We're going with the water theme today. Flounder has entered the arena.
No, that's Sebastian. Get in here, Sebastian.
That reminds me. Remember we were cleaning at work and that movie Moana.
Oh yes.
Right. So there's a scene in the movie where there's a giant crab who he likes to collect things. He's all about gold and glitter and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, so there's an ending scene after the movie. All the kids are waiting to see it, and at some point in the movie, he gets turned over and can't get flipped back over. He gets stuck like that, turtles and gets okay. So at the end of the movie, there's a scene with him, and he's sitting there. He's talking about how nobody will help me. It's because I don't have a Jamaican accent, and I'm not I don't have a certain skin tone.
He's like, if I was red and I had a Jamaican accent, you
would help me then, wouldn't you? So I was like, what a clever way to tell children that they're racist. So all right. So we have another Flounder has joined the. We have two guests today. Today's podcast we're going to be starting off with feminism, and then we're going to refer to the Drudge Report to get some other topics because I didn't do any homework like I was supposed to, and so I think if
I'm going to slow clap right now.
That is a futile attempt at antagonizing me that I'm not going to fall for. So anyway, the reason why I want to talk about that topic today is because I was really we should give Donald Trump a slow clap for feminism because, and I know that sounds odd, but without Donald Trump, I don't think there'd been a movement that, the day after the inauguration where they had the 500,000 or whatever women that came out and,
Well,
so, I mean, without him, that wouldn't have happened. So I mean, I think Donald Trump gets a little clap also because without him, they wouldn't have came together like that.
And this is also just a side note, but it was rumored, or it might actually be true, that they were coming from across the world, not just in the United States.
Oh no.
Yes, yeah, that was a worldwide.
That's thing,
yeah, that's absolutely true. So I mean, think about that. So now people are actually like, as a result of Trump, they're actually paying attention. So one of the things that I always thought about was when there's issues going on in the world that are detrimental to everybody in the world. I didn't have any faith that people would have the ability to come together on that level. So I was like, wow, Trump. I think like anytime you say anything positive about Trump, the people that are against him, they just can't. Their minds explode, so they just can't handle it. But I think the world, well, more so the United States, needed Trump because like now they could come together. You know what I mean? And move forward and actually achieve something as opposed to just making comments about it and not really doing anything. Because I mean, think about it. If let's say Monday, every single person just stopped what they're doing and marched on Washington and made demands, what kind of impact would that have? I mean, think about like you have the McDonald's, right? The whole thing about $15 paying their employees $15 and all that kind of stuff. Not that I think McDonald's is a career job, but the company makes so much money that there's nothing wrong with them paying their employees well. But I was at McDonald's not too long ago, and I shouldn't have been, so don't make no jokes about it.
I want the 2 dead
Don't
fat.
bite. See, you know what? Dead fish. Oh, water. Got it. Clever. It's McGriddles. You got this one.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Continue.
You know, if everyone in the on the talking points team here, there's only one here that's kind of like
Presiding is a god. I am not one. I am many.
And I also told you you're a white male, so therefore,
What
you say has no bearing on reality. You're a white male! Anyway, so the point I was trying to make was that oh my god, you don't shut up. If you do that in public one more time, I'm just gonna take your fake trident that you don't have and stab you with it. So the point I was making was that if people lose their jobs as a result of these machines, kiosks that are brought in, then we need to stop fucking buying McDonald's. But people won't do that. They don't come together. But I've had renewed faith in people now based on this movement that Trump caused. And you're going to best believe Trump caused it. Because there's been plenty of issues in the past that were detrimental to women that they did not come together on. Mm-hmm. So you got to give that man credit in that. Well, you can hate him all you want, but he's making people pay attention.
Also by banning people from out of the country.
Well, we can get to that. Here on the Drudge Report, the main story here, if you look at this, this is an interesting one because this talks about the impact of Trump's decisions on just stuff that we don't even think about how it's going to impact. So it says here, after immigration agents detained 2 Iraqis on Saturday at New York's JFK International Airport, their lawyers and 2 U.S. representatives accompanying them tried to cross into a secure area and were stopped themselves. So what ended up happening was, this is in New York, groups of people and a judge tried to block Trump's decision about keeping people out of the country. Mm-hmm. So, like, this is already having a crazy impact on just the day-to-day lives of people. And I always talk about how the president, the only time I really care about what's going on with the president is when he impacts me in my life. So, like, you take Obama, for instance, and his Obamacare stuff impacted me. So I'm like, okay, now I got to pay attention. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it's like Trump's decisions have a far-reaching impact on the world. And so these other countries are now taking offense to what he's doing. Now, do you guys think... because there's an underlying effort being made on his part to protect the country.
Set that sentence over.
What?
Set that sentence over.
Couldn't you just edit that out?
Nope.
Open. Closed. Open. The question was, do we think the decisions that Trump is making when it comes to immigration and him stopping people from entering the country, do we think that's a bad thing in an overall sense? Because there's an underlying purpose to it.
I'm cutting in. I think that's very, 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 very bad.
Okay, you got to give me. Well, why do you think it's bad?
Poseidon thinks it's bad because this country was built on immigration and refugees and people sneaking across the border. Japanese
people sneaking across the border.
Yes, in many ways, false passports, and all this stuff. And then you have all these amazing people coming to our country and making it better. And you know how much money they make from undocumented Americans? I'm gonna call them Americans.
Illegals? Is that what you're talking about? You guys, people get
Undocumented Americans.
illegals?
You know how
Are
much
you
money?
kidding me? Are you one of these people that can't say illegals because it's not PC enough?
Oh, what? I'm Poseidon. I'm a god. Don't forget your spot.
We'll come back to you.
Human.
What do you, flounder or a pound cake? What are we calling you today? Flint, Michigan? Did I say that?
His name
Water.
is
There's a
Masashi
water theme. There's an
Kishimoto.
underlying water theme just happening today.
That's true. You could.
What the? Oh, okay. I hit something that makes me angry, and I'm sorry. Don't judge me. I'll go back to it.
What?
Okay, we're gonna go back to my thought on the Flint thing because I can't. This makes me angry. We're also gonna talk about the Dakota pipeline situation. So, what are your thoughts on Trump's, not allowing certain countries into the United States at this point? Like, do you think it's a negative thing, a positive thing? What do you think about it?
I do think it's a negative thing because, like Poseidon said, this country was built off of that. And then at that, there's people that's trying to leave their country to get a better living, to earn that living, and this country can do that for them.
Also,
granted, we're not perfect. This country is not built off of perfection, but it's an opportunity for them to have that better life for them and their children or families or whatever the case may be. So stopping them from obtaining that opportunity can cause a lot of rift with agreements in other countries,
Which is happening. That's
Yeah.
true.
That's
Well,
my-
okay. Here's the thing about it, right? So, I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit here, just because I think it's better to have a difference of opinion on certain things. That it makes a better conversation. And I do feel this way about certain parts of it, but I think there's a better way of going about achieving the goals that he's trying to achieve. So the idea here is it's suggested that terrorists are entering the country and infiltrating these refugees that are coming in. So in order to stop that from happening, he's saying we're not going to let these people in, right? So one thing that I think has gotten us into trouble over the years is the United States has always been policing the world. So when you talk about the impact that our country has had on other countries when we go in and we under the guise of democracy and freedom and all that kind of stuff, and we're actually in there for their resources and putting in people that are friendly to the United States. And as you know, we end up bombing these people and they end up hating us because of it. So I mean, there comes a certain level of responsibility for what you create, just in terms of what you've done to those countries. But at the same time, I think that our country has so many problems of its own. It's like, if we lived in a paradise, then fine. You want to help out the world? Go ahead and do that. You know what? We're so great at what we do, and all our citizens are have living a life that just has no stress and you want to do that, fine. But that's not the case here. We got plenty of people that are suffering, can't find jobs, can't have a decent standard of living, and it's like, I think people think that the United States is like the best place to be at. I don't want to be anywhere else. Don't misunderstand me. But our standard of living isn't where it should be. Just in, like when you compare it to other countries that have universal health care, have universal free college and all that kind of stuff. It's just part of their, how they do things. And so it's like, all it's going to do right now is peace people. I don't think he's going to stop anything. What do you, Ariel? Do you think this is going to really save us from being attacked with because like the attacks that have happened, right? You talk about 9/11. You talk about the shooting in Florida. I feel like those things would have happened regardless of us stopping people from coming here. What do you think?
Well, it's definitely a hard thing to talk about, honestly, really, because there's a good and a bad to both. Like, and there's going to be, results to the end of it all anyway. Because if he tries to ban, which he is, these Muslims or basically anyone from coming in, and it fails, those people are going to retaliate from the other countries, and
they're already doing that.
Yes, they're already doing that. I believe that Iraq actually banned Americans from going inside their country now.
I heard about that.
In response to what Trump has done. Now, let's say this is just a scenario that, You know, the United States now says we can't ban them because it's just not ethical. And now the guys have a small of a grudge on us, or a big grudge, I should say. And now they actually do bring terrorists to the country to, you know, make sure Trump doesn't do something like that again.
Yeah, but they become the very thing that they would be fighting against if they do that, though, because it reinforces the need for a person to rise up and fight against that sort of thing. So it's like, this goes to the beginning of what I said when it comes to finding a better way to deal with the situation. So I think that in Trump's head, and I don't know what the hell is in that guy's head, but I think he thinks that he has to do what he has to do and not be influenced by anybody else because it needs to be done. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like he's trying not to be influenced by all of these. But I heard one thing that is like kind of disturbing. There's a number of countries where he didn't impose the ban, and they're heavily, very heavily Muslim countries, and from what I'm seeing and hearing, it's countries that he has business ties to, which is not good. And if that turns out to be true and there's actually a connection made, I think that's grounds for impeachment, because when it comes to a decision of that scale, you cannot make that decision based on any type of monetary gain. You know what I mean? It's a conflict of interest.
Yes.
So, because Trump is so brash in his thought process, I think it's not going to be long before he gets impeached. I really don't, because he's just too.
Even if you impeach him, you still gotta deal with his backup.
Well, you know what? The thing about Pence is, like, I think
his VP.
He's at least he seems like would be smarter than Trump. His belief system is
he'll fall back in line of every George Bush.
Right, exactly. So I think Trump was trying to be smart in picking somebody like that, so people would be afraid to impeach him. You know, I don't think it's people hate him so much that they're not going to. They rather have fucking Lucifer in there than Trump. People have said that. Anyway.
That's extreme.
I don't know how we got off topic there, but
my brother would not enjoy that. Hades.
Why are we talking about feminism?
Yeah, all right. So we can say whatever we want. It's just feminism was the. All right, so we got into Trump because Trump motivated them to come together. So it's like I wanted to see that sort of movement when it came to before Trump, because there's plenty of things happening before Trump. So it's like I don't personally necessarily have much stock in the message that they're trying to. It's almost fake to me. But it's like, if you really feel that strongly about all that stuff that you're there for, equal rights and women's rights and all that other stuff, it's like, why you gotta have somebody that's extreme motivate you to come out and support that when it's been there all this time? There hasn't been a gathering on this level like ever.
I think the Women's March was the biggest march ever.
So it's like, where was that energy before? You know? So, all right. So, let's talk about feminism itself. I think this day and age, feminism has turned into almost just man-hating. Like, it's just like, because before it was
I'm a butt in. All right. So, I think there's feminism, and then I think there's extreme feminism. I think there's I've seen the line up close. I've dated this girl, and she was an extreme feminist. Took me a while to realize what was going on when it was going on. Now, I met a regular feminist. I had no clue, because she believed in just women's rights. She didn't believe in man-shaming or fighting every chance just to attack the man culture that she can, like, every chance. She didn't believe in that. She just believed in women should have equal rights, and she didn't go out there oppressing people just because she felt some type of way. And I think people don't see what a good feminist is. And I think there's when you have a good thing, there's always gonna be people out there that take it to extreme. Like Black Lives Matter, right? It was like a good thing when it started off, and now these people, Black Lives Matter, what happened to that cop? Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? It's like they have people in it that just take it to the next level, and it destroys the reputation that it has.
Thing, right? So if that was more isolated than you.
What are you looking for? Integrity.
White male. But so, like, if it was more isolated, like you're suggesting, then that I could understand that way of thinking. But it's not. When you look at the actual crowd itself, and like when you pay, like, so there's a lot of women out there with the crazy costumes and the vagina heads, literally, like they got their faces in the middle of a vagina. Like, is that really necessary? Like, do you think that's like the message tends to get lost when the people that are in power, will say men, are almost like demonized, for lack of a better word, just because they're males. And it's like, if you talk about equality, you got to talk about us, both of them working together to be equal, not, females on top and men on the bottom. Because that's what they portray, and that's what they're kind of going after here. When you listen to them talking at their rally, whatever they had, it was very, very, very anti-male. It was just man hating, and that's not realistic. It reminds me of this idea of white men and so white men are just bad, right? So what they're trying to portray here is that in the past, white men are the ones that have caused all the chaos in the world right now. Just going into other countries, taking them over, abusing people, taking advantage of people, all that kind of stuff. That's true. But you can't apply that across the board because you got white friends that are not part of that. There's white people that don't have nothing to do with that.
Didn't the white man come home to a white woman? Wait, so we can't blame white women either? Come on, I don't want to hear that.
Wait, what?
I think that's unfair.
Explain that to me. What are you talking? What exactly is unfair? What do you mean?
I'm saying, dude, if their biggest selling point is white men are evil, what happened to the white women that backed them up?
No, that's not. I was making the point that you can't apply it across the board. You can't say, "Oh, white men are evil." I'm like, you can't do that. Okay. You become the very thing you're fighting against. Like I said earlier, just like that's racist.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I see what you mean.
So I'm just saying, what do you think about the current status of the women's movement? Do you think they will achieve something? Do you think it's become just man-hating? Do you think it's become more than what it used to be, just in terms of equality? And I think part of this is men in Congress, and it kills me because people, they act like they want to play the political game, but they don't play it correctly. They don't pay attention. And I'll explain what I mean. But so people in positions of power can decide what women have to pay for when it comes to stuff that they use for their vaginas, and that's a big part of why they're out there arguing. Like, you don't get to decide. Then how come you don't ban Viagra or whatever? You know what I mean? Why come men don't have to pay? That's some of their arguments. You know what I mean? So, and that's part of their problem. Mm-hmm. And then we talk about how women are, just sexual objects and all that kind of stuff. And one of the things that I heard about was, women should be able to walk down the street buck naked and not to worry about somebody, accosting them.
Well, we are animals, and we wear clothes to conceal that animal part of ourselves. So if you want to walk down the street buck naked, you're going to release the animal in someone. That's the truth behind that. Humans are smart enough to wear clothes.
Does Ariel have any thoughts about that? Ariel's the only... That's my quarter. Then Ariel's the only... Oh, you dropped it?
No.
No, just no. No.
I'm saying that because humans' evolution is when we grew up, we understood that if we were naked. When we evolved, sorry. When we evolved, we understood that wearing clothes... Shut the fuck up.
White male.
Alright, talk again. When we evolved, we understood...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
When we evolved, I'm going to say from monkeys, even though... That's just a thought, Even though we evolved to become smarter humans, we understood that clothes contain certain emotions we felt towards people. And when people wear no clothes, you can't filter them being a normal person anymore. You filter them as being a sex object because that's the evolution yourself.
From what I'm hearing, the movement that Women's March movement was organized by Muslims, right? And they were actually handing out burqas and stuff to the women. So in the Muslim faith, if a woman gets raped by a man, the woman is ostracized. The woman is beaten. The man is ignored. So it's like, you're gonna follow, it's like, that is completely mind-boggling. It's like you're like, you would think they would at the very least speak against that, but they just ignore. It's like, how do you just ignore that? That's extreme cases of, you know what I mean? But
the Bible is every version of the Bible, I'm going to say, is very extreme. There's when they teach you in church, they purposely told you to go around the whole book because they tell you, go to this chapter, go to that chapter to prove the point. I'm just saying each if you just read it, it's crazy the stuff they tell you to do, and the stuff they say, and there's we complain about slaves, and in the Bible, slaves were a common thing.
The Bible says it's okay to have slaves.
I know. People say treat your house.
Don't get me started on religion. I'm not in the mood to talk about that. Let's go to the topic that I was about to... You guys have any comments about this feminism stuff?
Well, about what he said, I somewhat agree with him. You know, clothing does conceal that primal instinct that would, you know, normally come out when you see somebody naked.
Like you mean like a boner?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that would be a word to use. But, you know, when people say, like, well, you know, how does clothing hide, you know, something that I have? It's just, it takes away the imagination that of what you have, and it makes some people, you know, actually want what you have afterwards. Mm-hmm. And then, let's say you have clothing on, and, you know, if the person's not imaginative enough, or they can't make an imagination in their head, they won't look at you and then think, you know, what they could be doing with you. They would just look at you as another person. You know, there's a reason why we wear clothes.
So do you think feminists have so their argument is to say, I should be able to wear whatever I want, it doesn't matter. So, you just got a college campus, right? Mm-hmm. And you have a female who's, you can jump in, let me finish, then you can jump in, that's fine. You have a female who's at a party, right? And she has like a bikini on, she's walking around, and she gets, you know, and then you have another girl who is completely fully clothed, you know. So the argument is that they're equal. The woman fully clothed and the woman falling down drunk with a bikini on, it doesn't matter. And I agree with that, except that realistically, the woman that's drunk in the bikini is going to be more likely to something happen to her. Now, they'll argue that and say, no, that's not how it should be. You should go after men and say, men, it's wrong to do it regardless of what they're wearing. You know, and I agree with that, but be realistic about it. You're going to have, like, you got your daughter, right? And you're going to tell your daughter, you know, you can wear whatever you want. You should be able to wear whatever you want, but understand, you're going to increase the likelihood of something happening to you, and that is wrong, right? That's wrong, but you're going to increase the likelihood of something happening to you if you're walking around in a bikini at night. I mean, that's just realistic, right?
Also, what's realistic about this, the argument is, if a woman wears whatever she wants, and she doesn't pay attention to her surroundings, just because I understand you can wear whatever you want. You can wear whatever you want, true. But it doesn't mean people are going to feel the same way when you're wearing that what you're going to wear. Like, if you walk into a club with a bikini on, eyes are going to be on you. As soon as they see you start getting loose and drunk, people are going to want to take advantage of you because that's their instinct.
And that's exactly their argument, though. They don't, regardless of what I'm wearing, they don't have the right to do anything to me. That's all. And so they would argue, like, I can wear whatever I want, whenever I want, and you can't. It doesn't matter.
That's fine.
That's all I'm saying.
You can wear whatever you want, but just...
I'm just saying, know that you're increasing the likelihood of something happening to you. I get that you want to...
We have two brains, all right? We have a brain that tells us what to do, how to survive, and we have a brain to reproduce. And when that kicks in, we can't think normally.
Well, you need to control that.
You can't control...
Yes, you can. Just in terms of we're talking about rape now. We're talking about... taking advantage of people. That's all. You know.
Yeah,
I'm not going to sit here and act like a natural reaction to seeing something that's attractive is, you're going to suppress that. No, I'm saying you just got to control yourself.
As a man who has a girlfriend that we have not have any type of intercourse yet, trying to control that is the hardest thing. I've done things with her, and I'm like, holy crap! I can just do this right now, and I get away with it technically, right? But it's just so mentally hard just to like take a breather.
White male.
Okay,
I'm kidding.
But that brings up a question with me. What about the women that take advantage of men? Because I've been raped by a woman.
Well, how old were you?
I was 14.
I was molested by my aunt.
I mean, that's kind of cool.
She made me touch.
No, I mean, so what ends up happening in those situations?
She made me touch her foot.
What the fuck? White male. It never fails. Fucking bastard. What the fuck? That better not be a real... You know what? We're going to just move past that. Okay, so when it comes to... idiot. I hate you! No, I don't hate you. I just hate you. Anyway, so, okay. When it comes to women and them raping men, right? So...
Double standard.
There's a double standard, right? So, the bottom line is, when it comes to following the law as it stands, right? Now, I think personally that people are capable of reproducing at a certain age, and that's just naturally what they're supposed to do.
Hold on. Here's the biggest...
I wouldn't do it.
Here's the biggest double standard, right? And we as men are okay with it, even though it's fucked up, right? So we have this male teacher, right? He's interested in this 6-year-old girl.
Nope.
And he has sex with her, right?
Nope.
We're like, oh, that's so bad But technically, that's the proper age. Wait, I'm not done. Let me finish talking. I know it's
You
fucked
finish
up.
because I'm the blood pressure.
Hold on.
Go ahead,
That's
do
the
it.
proper age to have sex, and that's the age people do have sex back in the day. That's
6 years old.
16. I said.
Oh, woo! You almost had me. Woo! You almost caused a fucking scene here.
You forgot the teen when you said 6.
Yeah,
Wait, hold on.
My nigga, you almost caused a fucking scene here. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
16-year-old is the proper
that was
age to have sex,
that was
and
a close one.
it was a normal thing for grown men to go after that age group.
Yeah.
It's still in our genes.
Yeah, so I
Wait. But then we have the female teacher that goes after the male teacher, the male student, and we're like, high five that guy. You know what I mean? Like he fulfilled he could accomplish something we all wanted to do and we couldn't do.
You know what? Here's the thing, right? So I think that in terms of the way the laws are set up here, I think naturally, yes, you can reproduce at a certain age. It's just a natural thing, right? But I think the laws are set up in a way to make the person be able to have more of an understanding of what's happening mentally. You know what I mean? So a certain level of maturity to be able to make those decisions. Now, are the laws flawed to an extent? Yeah, I mean, you're at the point where you can go to war and die, but you can't buy a drink. You know what I mean? I think that's retarded. You know what I mean? But
you can go to war, get scarred with PTSD, and then come back, and you still can't buy a drink.
yeah, I think it's retarded. You know what I mean? So men, it's just a double standard there. You know, but the bottom line is the law is the law is the law. So if a woman does whatever with a 14-year-old, you know, she should be persecuted to the extent of the law. You know, that's just what it is. That you can feel it what you want about it. It's the law. The law is the law.
I agree. If you're gonna make laws, then you can't do double standards.
I mean, I might high five my son if you know he's 16 years old and he had you know the teacher's hot or whatever.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is you can't reinforce that because of the nature of what's happening. You can't have a teacher involving herself with students. You know, you just can't do that. Because it just creates an atmosphere.
I don't agree with it. Trust me. I believe that the teacher, no matter what position it is in, they're taking advantage. Hold on. I feel like the teacher is taking advantage of the student
Absolutely.
in both cases.
We talk just like I said in terms of maturity and being 18 and all that kind of stuff. That's exactly what I was talking about.
So you would like high five your son, and then right afterwards just be like, all right, well, you did a good job, but we're gonna go arrest her now.
Yeah. There you go. You got it. Nail hitting the proverbial head.
High five, son. Where that bitch at? Let's take her in.
Why we gotta be bitches? Right?
Oh,
We're talking about feminism.
Shaquille, you done Poseidon, you done
Open. Or close. Open. What's wrong with your face? What, they just fucking shut down?
Listen,
I was kidding with the bitches thing.
No,
I mean, they don't like that, so...
they call themselves bitches.
Which is interesting, isn't it? Just like niggas call themselves niggas.
If you call yourself bitches, I don't care if you call... First of all...
So do you think white people should be able to call black people niggers? If black people do it?
If niggers, I feel like nigger is this... No black person calls himself a nigger.
That's
But
not true. That is not true.
Yeah, it's not true at all.
I call you a nigger all the time.
Confession, I would like to get a lawyer.
Who will laugh in your face because you're a white male?
So I feel like the word nigger should be used in general. I feel the word nigger shouldn't be used in general as well. I feel like we should have evolved past the point where we didn't use it, but it was a childish thing to bring it back just so we can have a point. People brought the word nigger back just so they can have something over white people that they can't feel oppressed over. You know what I mean? It wasn't just
they had control over. I've heard that stupid. Ugh.
You know, nowadays it seems like the N-word, I'm not going to say because I actually am white, and
Ariel is white.
yeah,
well, I also am white. What are you trying to say?
That's quite an interesting voice you
anyways.
have there for a female, Ariel.
But nowadays it just
Are
seems like...
you one of these Z genders?
ZJ.
That's the new gender.
I'm also pansexual, I'm a gypsy, and I'm Jewish.
Well, I identify as a goat and I want my own bathroom.
If you get if I see a goat symbol, I'm going to come after you with a bat. I swear to God.
Besides, just use your trident.
You know, it's kind of funny when it comes to like certain stuff like that, where they would say they're pansexual, and it's just like
Don't piss me
it's
off.
definitely just bisexual, and then
Don't
bisexual just fills up all
piss me
those
off.
extra categories.
Here's it.
All right, now we're done.
Listen.
We're done. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not even mad at you. I'm just saying
Super
the thought
Saiyan
process.
1. Super Saiyan 1, go.
Here's the thing about this, right? So it just in terms of science and anatomy, right? Just that basis alone, because when you start doing this fucking shit, there's a lot of things you better start ignoring also. You're born with genitalia, right? Now there's always just cases where you're gonna have both or one or whatever. You're born genitalia, anatomy, reproduction, all that shit, right? So you have a dick or a vagina, right? Therefore, you are a man or a woman, right? Now, you can choose to identify whatever the fuck you want to identify as. Pick that whatever choice you want. But acknowledge the fact that you were born a man or woman. So this idea that I look at you and I say girl or male or female, and you get mad at me? Are you retarded? Like, what the actual
And your body...
Fuck you!
Your body gives you...
God damn it, I hate this. This guy walked into my theater the other day. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I'm apologizing ahead of time. I just can't. It's like pick a fucking side so I can at least get an idea of what's happening in the world. Okay.
Before you say this, tell me your sexuality.
I'm a gay man.
All right, now continue. So now people understand.
I'm not a white male though.
You're a gay black man.
Okay.
And you have short feelings about this.
All right. So here we go. Right. This guy comes in, and all right. So he has a dress on, and he has like stockings and women's boots on, right? But then on his face is completely like male. So, and I'm sorry, call me what you want, but my blood pressure went up. I didn't show it towards him. I didn't act any kind of way, I didn't. But I'm like, what the fuck? Can you like? But here's the thing about it. I had to catch myself because who the fuck am I to judge? It's like, I just can't. You know what? I don't want to sit here and say that's wrong because who am I to make that decision? It just, I had a natural reaction to it, whether it's right or wrong. It was just hard for me to swallow. No pun intended. So I want to talk about something else. I'm getting tired.
Well, I'm just gonna butt in.
Okay. The one thing I will stand by is this idea that there's no longer a gender. You don't use, but there is a gender because if you ignore science, I want you to ignore other. Where does it end?
Wait, if you ignore, this is how you identify a male or female. Body things on this, if you see a male.
Their argument is you've been programmed to think that way.
That's when you grow up. What is the difference between a boy and girl? The first thing you realize between a boy and girl.
Vagina.
One has breast, one doesn't.
Even as a boy, you notice her parts are different than your parts, right? That's the first time you realize. Then there's stereotypes of you grow up to be masculine, and I don't agree with that. I don't think men should grow up. They could be gay. They could be whatever the fuck they want. If they want to be a bitch, it could be a bitch. All right.
Do you know what bitches?
But if you ignore basic science about you're a male, you can say I identify as a girl. Yeah, but if I call you a male, you get mad. That's on you. Don't go around saying I'm wrong because I called you a male, which you are.
Yeah, but here's the thing about it though. So, the argument is there because they actually feel like they are a female in a male's body mentally, regardless of what is there. They feel like they're now. You take certain, like you say, like a really feminine male, right? What is that about? Like this guy is completely feminine, but he's a male. You know what I mean? So the mentality there is, I believe that I'm a female, but I have a dick.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can't really attack them for that.
No,
my thing is just in terms of you have a dick. You're a male. That's all. Now you want to act whatever way you want to act. That's fine. I have no problem with that. But don't get mad at me when I say because you have a dick that you're a male. They want to fight you over it. It's like, what?
There's only two. Let me reset. Let me go back. There's only 3 genders. there's male, and there's female, and there's what the fuck you want to call yourself.
Nope, inaccurate. There's 2 genders.
Wait, hold on, because there's transvestites who are in between.
All right. That's such a rarity. I don't want to. Not that I'm trying to belittle that, but isn't transvestite the one where is it born that way, or is transvestite
transvestite they transgender or this is when they could be born with
transgender is the one where they dress that way.
Yeah, they dress that way.
Transvestite
they cut it off or sew one on.
What's the one where they're born with the shit? Isn't there? There's a name for it.
Hermaphrodite, yeah.
I guess that's it.
But usually hermaphrodites become bisexual.
That's an anomaly, though. I mean, I'm not trying to belittle that. It's like I think in nature that's just an oddity. You know what I mean? You have stuff that happens in nature, and it's just okay. This is an oddball.
Oh yeah, I would agree.
So as part of evolution, that's an experimental thing that nature's doing. I think. You know what I mean? Just in terms of.
I feel like nature because nature has no rule over how things naturally happens. Because we say how things naturally happen, but nothing happens naturally on this earth or in anything.
All right, we're running out of time, so I want to just hit on a couple of things that before we end.
This motherfucker, you black male, you think you cut off a white male such as myself?
Yeah. So. Okay, so the thing I was getting mad about earlier was I mentioned Flint, Michigan, right? So the reason why I got mad is because of all the things happening in the world and all that was going on. You got people marching for, to be able to put whatever they want in their vaginas without having some white man to determine that. They march on that and all that. So you got to, in Flint, Michigan, their water is still fucked up to this day. And what ended up happening was, and this is why I just hate people to an extent, because when it was sensational and it was mainstream news, everybody was on top of this whole thing. Oh, Flint, Michigan, what happened there? What's going on there? What are we going to do? So then it became not sensational and it became not as a topic of discussion, and everybody forgot about it. So my point here is that I can't stand this idea of losing passion over something that's just fucked up because it's not sensational. You know what I mean? So it's like, to this day, you mean to tell me these people are still fucked up in that place? You know what I mean? It's like, where is our government? And so he steps in for the Dakota pipeline, and he did write the executive order. It was very vague what he wrote. Mm-hmm. He just said this as it pertains to the Dakota pipeline. He didn't lay out any details about what it meant. He didn't, some people automatically jumped on, damn, that's fucked up. He just erased those people that are protesting against this. I don't know what's in the executive order. I don't know.
Are we talking about the Dakota pipeline right now?
Yeah.
Well, the Dakota pipeline is a very, very touchy subject because there's people who are very passionate about their way of life and their way of land and how that land is important to them. And there's another argument of that pipeline is very expensive, and to build around it would cost more money.
I don't give a fuck how much it costs to build around it. They're talking about burial grounds and shit. That here's the thing about this.
I know. I'm not on the.
I'm still gonna make my point. I don't care what side you're on. So they were initially going to go through white land, and white people fought against it, and they went. So they didn't fight against white people. But you know what they're doing with these other Indian people? They're forcing this shit on them at gunpoint. So when you want to talk about doing a fucking a gathering of people to fight against something, there you go. Because when it comes to people's rights and what's actually right to do, this is something that people should be mobilizing against. Everybody should be at that fucking Dakota shit. Everybody.
A lot of people were there. It's a big thing that's been happening.
So if they fucking let Trump just use an executive order and they don't mobilize against this shit, I have zero faith in their ability to actually make any real change, because they pick and choose what's important and they ignore the things that are actually going to affect everybody. And it's like they've already had a situation where one of these fucking pipelines spilled out into their land, mm-hmm. and into places that are just like. Don't get me fucking started on this shit, because
I've seen videos on what happens if it spills and how long it takes them to react.
It's all about fucking money. It's not about what's right. And so if it costs them more money to build around this shit, fuck them. Make them do it. I don't care. Because the bottom line is, we're supposed to be moving away from this idea of fossil fuels. We're supposed to be moving forward with how we affect the environment and all that kind of stuff. Because we are affecting the environment. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I have no sympathy for an oil company that wants to build another fucking pipeline. You should put that energy into finding other alternative, safer, cleaner methods of providing energy. Anyway, I think, did you guys have any final thoughts about anything that we discussed today? And when I say guys, I'm probably inject in the general areas here, so we don't want to.
That's true.
The mermaid. We don't want to
make me get
right.
offended.
We don't want to call you a bitch, or we don't want to.
That's right.
We don't want to your clam bar. Yeah. We don't want to. You can wear whatever you want because you have that right.
Thank you.
You might get crabbed up. I'm just saying, the crabs. I'm just saying, you might excite the crabs, and they might.
I see what you did there.
They might start snipping.
I see what you did there too.
You're a white male.
I thought we were talking about Sebastian again, but I was completely off.
we kind of did a little bit, but it didn't. Yeah.
Well,
any final thoughts?
Well, this is definitely the mood room. It went from 0 to 100 real quick.
Well, there's certain things that when it comes to basic decency and basic common sense, I have little patience for people that want to argue either way when it comes to that, because it's just like, you can make points, but the basic decent, when it comes to basic things, it's like, shut the fuck up. Are you kidding me right now?
It's human beings are the most selfish things on this planet.
That's very true.
So that's why It's like what you said earlier. Their basic instinct is just to go straight for something that's just going to benefit themselves. All these ladies are out there.
That's very true.
All these ladies are, feeling oppressed. So that's why they went out for the fight for that, as opposed to this pipeline.
And you brought up Black Lives, right? So it's like, if black people felt that strongly about Black Lives, why the fuck aren't they in fucking Chicago and these places where the genocide is happening? Where the fuck are they? You know what's funny about that? Trump is actually talked about putting money and resources into those areas where, they're talking about putting National Guard and trying to clean this shit up.
That's good.
Where the Obama, and I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm an Obama hater, but here's what ends up happening.
Thanks, Obama.
People have this idea that Obama can do no wrong just because he's a black president. He's from Chicago. He was the president of the United States, and he's black. And he did nothing for that area, which is sad. Any other final thoughts before we end the show? Flounder, whatever. Flounder.
No,
You're a white male for the rest of the show. You're not deciding anymore.
just
I don't even remember who I am.
We didn't give you a name.
Evergreen.
Ever.
We didn't give this motherfucker a name.
I thought Ever Hungry. No, we're not gonna do.
Right,
anyway,
Hungry.
This guy got me some fucking. So we were at the supermarket, right?
Oh, God.
And it's not. I was like, all right, so I'm diabetic. Okay, let's just start there, right? I ate so much damn food, I became diabetic. Fine, whatever. So I'm in there and I'm picking out some shit I shouldn't have. So I did myself the small favor of getting a smaller container of cookies, right?
He did it wrong. He got like some bullshit that wasn't birthday cake Oreos.
So me knowing that I'm ever hungry, right? I know that I'm gonna eat that whole fucking shit. We don't even talk about that anymore.
Wait.
Final thought. Anything you want to add to the discussion today before we end the show?
Yeah, it just said that it takes a tragedy of some sort to bring people together.
That's very true. Final thought.
I'm good.
I'm good. Ariel has nothing else to say. You didn't notice Ariel's voice, anybody? Leave it in the comments.
Hey. All right. What happened to that thing about I'm female?
Oh, right. You're right. Yeah,
Okay.
you're Black Lives Matter. Anyway, the final thoughts.
My final thoughts on today's project. Well, as a white man, I feel highly targeted, and if this continues, I'm going to sue you. My lawyers will contact you. I'm leaving.
The white male's integrity and just males in general's integrity is at stake here. Thanks, everybody.
Steak.
That's true. I did say steak.
I'd like to thank our guests for joining us today on the Mood Room. I hope you enjoyed the show. We hope to see you again.
Wait, John, how are you doing?
Oh my God!
Closed.
First of all, who is open? Closed.
Wait, hey, better than yesterday.
Fuck you.
What are you in the mood for?
Bye bye.